Okay, this should be recording. Okay. First of all, I'm going to try to share my screen so that you guys see what I see. 1 second, where is this button? I haven't used this in a long time, so bear with me over here. But I'm going to first of all put the course calendar on your screen so that you guys know what's happening and what we have so far. Let me just share this. Include computer sound, yes. And then share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, Dr.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, great, guys. Thank you so much for confirming. So, basically, what you see in front of you is the course calendar, right? So today's what? Today's the 12th of April, guys. We are over here, right? We are over here. How did you guys do on the midterm exams, by the way? So last week was midterm exams. We didn't really have a class. How did you guys do on the midterm exams?
It's okay. It's fine. In and out. And it was Ramadan. صراحة it's a lot of load.
I see.
And non-concentrating. I think, yes, it's fine. But inshallah, we hope it will be okay.
Okay.
We hope so.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So Masara, okay, she says we were fasting. Yes, obviously it was hard maybe for you guys to concentrate. Zainab, what was it like for you?
Doctor, I'm a very lucky person. You know why? Because every time I have midterm, I have 2 midterm in the same day.
Wow.
Wow. Are you?
But alhamdulillah, it's fine.
Okay.
I hope.
Okay. Zainab's dream is to graduate without having 2 exams on one day. This is her dream. This is her goal. Yeah. So I really hope that you all did really well, guys, on the midterm exams. So here, guys, today, of course, as I said, today we are on the 12th of April. We will talk a bit about risk-taking, but before I talk about risk-taking, I just want to quickly show you something on LMS. I sent this to Dua on the WhatsApp group. Dua, did you send the last message I sent you to the group?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, mashallah. Dua always does what she always sends you whatever I send you, mashallah. Thank you, Dua, for always being amazing. But I also put this on I also put this on LMS, by the way. I'll quickly show you. I put this on LMS over here. So it's basically about the audio recordings. If I go back to the course calendar over here, guys, as you know, طبعا we did the first listening quiz. We did the first presentation, which was the 7-day challenge. We did the second presentation, which was what was it? I forgot.
New invention.
Oh yeah, thank you. The new invention. Oh my God, how can I? Oh, Shahad, you're here. Shahad's here. Yes, we did the second presentation as well. So that's 25, right? And then we have a debate coming up in week 11. So between the 22nd and 27th of April, we will have an in-class debate regarding Unit 7, which is all about money and happiness. So, do you think money can make you happy? Yes, no, why? And let's have like a little debate or like a discussion to see where you stand. Okay? So that's 5 marks over here. We have the audio recordings over here. The deadline is on the 4th of May, which I sent to Dua on the WhatsApp group. I also put this on LMS. And of course, we have our very last presentation, which is the 3rd presentation, which we'll do in week 13. So the debate, as I said, for the debate, guys, all you need to do is just think about Unit 7. Unit 7 is over here. Unit 7 is all about money and happiness. Just ask yourself this question: can money make you happy? Yes, no, why? Are you sure? Why do some people love money? How can money make some people happy? Why do some people not need money, and so on and so forth? Okay. We'll do this in class, inshallah, but make sure you prepare your thoughts before you come to class. And then here, week 12, as you see over here, we're going to have at the end of the week, on the 4th of May, this is the deadline to submit your audio recordings. What are the audio recordings? They're basically 5 questions. I'm going to give you 5 questions. You can do this at home, and all you have to do is you just have to read the question. You have to answer it by sharing your thoughts, and then you save the file, and then you upload the file on LMS. Okay, so again, if you go to LMS over here, طبعا announcements, you will see that this is the most important link, I think, by the way, over here. So everything which is important I will upload over here. You can see that I'm the only one uploading over here. So you have the very first link, welcome to EL119. This is where you can find the course calendar. You have presentation number 1, join the speaking center, presentation number 2, and of course the audio recordings. Okay, if you click over here, it says, dear students, we have uploaded the audio recording topics you need on the EL119 main page. Masara, can I just ask you to mute your mic so that others can hear me, please, if you don't mind? Thank you. So it says we have uploaded the audio recording topics you need on the EL119 main page here on LMS. You have 5 topics in total. All you have to do is record your ideas for each topic. So 2 to 3 minutes for each topic, and then upload your files using the link provided on LMS. Okay, I'll show you where the link is in a second. It says we want to hear your own unique ideas. Just be yourself and keep it spontaneous. The deadline to submit all 5 files is on the 4th of May. Okay, so this assignment is worth 10 marks. So guys, we're basically giving you 10 marks for free. All I want you to do is just look at these 5 topics. Okay, take each one and just record your thoughts. Okay, it's like sending a voice note on WhatsApp. Okay, every computer, every laptop, every telephone has like a voice recording application. All you have to do is just look at the question, understand it, and then answer it in 2 to 3 minutes, and then you save the file, and then you have to upload it on LMS, and then you're good to go. So we gave you 5 interesting files, 5 interesting topics if you want. The first one is, I love the first one because it's like a huge fadiha, you understand? First one, what is one thing not many people know about you? Right? I love it when people expose themselves, especially students, right? I can use this against you later on in life. So tell me something that not many people know about you. Okay? Number 2, what is your greatest fear? Because again, I want to know what your greatest fear is because I want to use it against you in the future, you understand? Some people say, Mr. Farran, you are my greatest fear. I'm like, thank you so much. In my life, my wife is my greatest fear. I have to keep my voice down because I'm teaching from the house. This is why I don't like online teaching. I have to be very careful, okay? Yeah. Oh my God, this is not nice. Number 3, where do you see yourself in 10 years? So think about it, inshallah. 10 years from now, right? Where do you see yourself? Okay? One of the boys once said, "Sir, I see myself in your shoes. I want to take over your job." I'm like, mashallah alaik, that's very nice. How can we get students more excited about learning and studying their course material? Okay, in general, how can we get students more excited, about studying, learning, reading, advancing, and so on and so forth? And then the last question is about the course itself. What do you think of EL119 as a course? What did you like about it? If you did, if anything, taman. And how can we improve the course? Don't tell me, wallah, it was amazing, mashallah. Tell me, what can we do to make the course more enjoyable, more helpful, better for the students, okay? And the system will close on the 4th of May. So where do you submit the files, guys? You submit the file on LMS. Again, you go to LMS. Here's the EL119 main page, okay, over here. Yeah, you will see here, it says you have a let's say a heading over here, or like a segment that says audio recordings. Okay, same thing over here. Every student is required to answer the 5 given topics by recording their own thoughts, 2 to 3 minutes per file, and uploading their audio files on LMS. Okay, so make sure you do so before the deadline, 4th of May, which will be a Thursday. Please make sure that your files are in a suitable audio format for us to listen to. So the files have to be in some sort of format, which is an audio format, like MP3, M4A, and so on and so forth. And if you want the topics, you can click here and get them as well. If you click here, you can download the topics again if you want to keep them with you. And once you're done, you can actually click here on this link. It says upload your 5 files here. You click here, and then all you have to do is find the files that you saved on your laptop or whatever, and you can upload them. Okay? Yeah, I can't do it here myself because I'm a teacher. I'm accessing this link as a teacher, but again, as a student, you just click on this link, and then you will be able to search for your file wherever you saved it, and you will be able to upload it on LMS, okay? Guys, please do this as soon as possible. You don't want to wait until the very last minute, because sometimes if all of you, use LMS at the very last minute, the system can close, or the system might have some issues. And if you don't submit them on LMS, I cannot grade them. I cannot give you grades for them. Even if you send them to me by email, I cannot grade them. I can only grade what I have on LMS. Okay, guys? Is this clear?
I have a question.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Each answer should have like a range between 2 to 3 minutes, right?
Exactly, Iman.
Even if my answer is very short, I have to make it longer.
Yeah, don't make it too short, Iman, because if you make it too short, it won't be fair for other students. It's like asking you to write an essay of 200 words and you just give me 50 words.
Sure.
Okay, was that clear?
Okay, I got it.
I have.
Yes, go ahead, Shahad.
Hello. For each topic, 2 to 3 minutes, or for 5 topics?
No,
3 minutes.
for each one, Jihad. So for each topic, just 2 to 3 minutes.
And together it will be in one voice. Not every topic has their own file.
It's up to you. It's up to you, Shahad. You can record five files, and each one is 2 to 3 minutes, or you can have one big file where you talk about all 5 of them inside.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, always
So
welcome.
basically,
Yes, Iman.
Doctor, basically we will have to answer each question like separately,
Mm-hmm.
and then we will submit it.
Yes, exactly. So you can, yeah, you can answer each question separately in a separate file, and then upload 5 files for the 5 questions you have. Or if you want, as Shahid said, you can just record one big file, and then answer all 5 of them in that big file. You understand? It's up to you. Okay, guys. So I hope that's clear. This is for the audio recordings. Remember, the deadline is on the 4th of May, so you still have a lot of time. Okay. That's for the, yeah. Okay. So.
Doctor,
Yes.
please, one more question. We will just ask the question and then answer it, right?
Exactly.
Let's say one, and I will answer. No, I will say one, the question, then my answer to it.
Exactly.
That's it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So just read the question, Masara. So the first question is, yeah, what is something that not many people know about you? And then for the next 2 to 3 minutes, just talk about that question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, guys.
So the minutes will be minimized if I will have to only submit one audio, including all the questions.
I mean,
The
if
minutes will be minimized.
no, it's going to be the same, Iman, because if you submit one file with all the 5 questions, then your file is going. This one file is going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. So before I dive into today's topic, before we talk about the unit today, which is Unit 5, is all about taking risks or risk taking. Okay. And by the way, today we are taking a risk. I mean, at least I am, because I'm teaching from the house and I can't make a lot of wife jokes, unfortunately. Okay. But before we talk about taking risks, let me talk a bit about your presentations. I know that you guys did 2 presentations so far, so I thought maybe I'd talk about that first before I dive into today's unit. Okay. So let me give you some feedback. Okay, this is feedback based on, of course, what you guys did last time. Yes, get this out of the way. Okay. Yes. Yes, hi, Mohammed.
I have a question. I could attend the last presentation, and one of the group told me is gonna be on the last of this semester.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Mohammed.
Is it gonna be on the last semester?
Yeah. So you missed. You mean you missed the second presentation, Mohammed?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a good excuse, Mohammed, or were you just busy sleeping?
No, I was in the military base, and I couldn't out of it. So.
Okay, you got stuck. Okay. So can you get me something, Mohammed, that proves that you weren't able to make it to class?
I don't think so.
Okay, try your best, Mohammed, if possible, and then if you are able to get me something, then at the very end of the semester, yes, I will have a makeup session for those who have a valid excuse. Don't worry.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, great. So, guys, let me just quickly recap the last 2 presentations that you guys did, and maybe let me give you some advice on what you guys can do to give a better presentation in the future. Okay, guys. So let me just quickly show you from my experience. I've been teaching this course for the past maybe 8-9 years. So generally speaking, when I see students present, I usually see the same mistakes over and over again. Okay, so here are the top 5 presentation mistakes that I have witnessed or I have actually experienced when it comes to giving presentations from students. Okay, so the top 5 are the following. Number 1, it says here, please avoid the following. Number one, طبعا, sounded nervous. A lot of the times, I know that when it comes to giving a presentation, some of you are nervous, some of you can't control your emotions, guys. But you have to find a way. You have to find a way to control your emotions. You have to find a way to seem confident, to act confident, to speak confident. Because if you don't do that, then you're not giving us a very good impression. And if you're not confident, then you won't give a good presentation. It's impossible. Imagine having a nervous teacher. Imagine having a teacher who comes to class and this person is nervous. He or she will not be able to teach from the heart. They will not be able to do a good job because they just don't feel like themselves. They feel nervous. When you're nervous, nothing good comes out of it. If you're driving and you're nervous, you won't drive properly. If you plan on getting married and you're nervous, you won't. You understand? It's just not the same. If you're trying to open a business and you're nervous, it won't be the same. So guys, try to sound confident. Some people say fake it until you make it, right? Try to act confident. If you try to act confident, it just might, and you might fool your brain into thinking that you are actually confident. So find a way to actually sound a bit more confident the next time you give a presentation. Okay? Number 2 says boring delivery. Some of you, when you gave your presentations, guys, you actually had good ideas, but the way you spoke wasn't very interesting. So you have to find a way to make your voice sound more interested or more interesting. You understand? Imagine a teacher. Imagine you have a teacher who's teaching you and their voice is not interesting to listen to. You will fall asleep like in 10 minutes. It's the same thing with you guys. When you speak, when you guys give a presentation, make sure that your voice sounds interesting. Yeah? Number 3, not enough practice. Okay? So when you again, so now you imagine that you have prepared for your presentation. It's very important to practice before you come to class. Because when you practice, yes, you're putting all the effort you did into this practice session. Think about it. You've prepared, you know exactly what you want to say, but if you don't practice, how will you know how you're going to perform? So instead of coming to my class and doing your presentation for the first time, do it before I come to class. Get feedback from students. Guys, what do you think of my presentation? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was I too fast? Was I too slow? Did I sound nervous? Do I have to sound more energetic? You understand? So practice your speech before you come to class if you wish to do well in my class. Number 4, memorizing speech. I know that some of you were memorizing your speech last session or the week where we had the presentation. Some of you were actually memorizing your speech. I don't encourage you to memorize your speech, because if you memorize your speech and then you suddenly get nervous, you might actually end up forgetting all your ideas. And also, by memorizing your speech, it doesn't sound natural. Imagine having a teacher who comes to class and they've memorized the entire class. It's not nice. It's nice to be spontaneous. It's nice to sound natural. You don't want to sound like a robot, you understand? And number 5, another mistake I find from students is that their speech is not engaging. By engaging, I mean try to engage the audience. Try to ask them questions. Try to get them involved. Remember, it's not about you as a person. Your speech is about them. It's about the audience members. Again, it's like teaching. It's not about me as a teacher. It's about whether I can get the message across from me to you. If you guys are having fun, if you guys are learning, then the class is successful. What's the point if I know everything and you guys don't, and I don't get that message across? I don't get this information across. So guys, try to engage the audience. Try to get them involved. And trust me, when you do that, your presentation will be more interesting and people will learn more from you. Yeah? So, let me give you top 12 things good presenters do. Let me give you just a few tips that you guys can do for your next presentation, inshallah. Okay? For the next time we have a presentation. Yes? So, the first thing you have to do, guys, is ask a good question, right? Every solution comes from asking a good question, right? So we start off with the problem. What's the problem? The problem is, what makes a good presenter? Why are some people good presenters and others are not? Yeah, just think to yourself, what makes a good presenter? Why are some people very confident and why are some people scared to death? Why do some people sound active and energetic and others sound, bored, right? So, what makes a good presenter? Let me give you my top 12 tips from start to finish. Everything you see over here today, guys, is going to help you, inshallah, give a better presentation if you actually take these things into account in your next presentation. Okay? From start to finish, right? So, for me, number 1, taban, is to prepare. This is the number 1 rule, the number 1 thing you have to do. And this applies to everything in life. Whether you want to start a business, whether you want to get married, whether you want to go to an exam, you must prepare. I like the picture you see on your screen because this mouse represents all of us. And the cheese you see on the screen represents the thing you want. All of us want something in life, right? Think about it. Some of you want a better job. Some of you want to leave your job. Some of you want to get a job. Some of you want to get married. Some of you want to get a divorce. I have to be quiet. I have to be careful, right? Everyone wants something in life. Some of you want a promotion. Some of you want to get your degree. Some of you want to graduate. Some of you want to leave Mr. Farran's class, whatever. All of us want something in life. And that thing you want is never out there in the open for free. Because the things that are worth fighting for, they have value. Yes? Everything we want in life is hidden in a trap. That's why they say to get to the gold, you have to go through the dirt. That's why we say in English, easy come, easy go. Right? So the things that you want that are worth something are usually not there. They're not out there in the open just for you to grab for free. You have to work for them. You have to fight for them. Right? So here, like again, my class is a very good example. You want to be a good presenter, you have to prepare. Right? It might not be easy, but eventually you will learn something. Right? So you can see that here we have the cheese. This is what the mouse wants. Of course, the cheese is not there out. It's not there for free. There's a trap. But you can see that the mouse is prepared. So guys, the next time I give you a presentation, the next time I give you an assignment, please prepare in advance. Ask yourself, how much time do I have? What does Mr. Farran want exactly from me? What is the topic? Am I allowed to ask questions? Am I allowed to bring a prop? Am I allowed to be funny in the class? Right? So prepare. That's number one. Yeah? Number two, طبعا practice. I just mentioned this. Practicing your speech is very important. After you prepared and took all the notes and took everything you prepared, put it into practice. It's like driving. You cannot be a good driver if you don't practice. It's like any sport. You can read books about how to become a good football player, but if you don't practice, you will never be a good football player. And especially in my class, because when it comes to giving a presentation is actually a skill. In Arabic we say mahara. It's a skill. And the best way to improve any skill, if you guys remember, we talked about this and from day one, the best way to improve any skill is by practicing. Think of teachers again. You can tell a teacher, when a teacher walks into class, you can tell if this teacher is actually prepared and if this teacher actually practiced, that this person has experience. A new teacher who doesn't have experience, who's never done it before, they might seem a bit hesitant. But a teacher who has experience, they will usually feel a bit more confident because they've done this 100 times before, you understand? So guys, please practice your speech before you come to class. Some people like to practice in front of a mirror. I don't like it because women generally get distracted. You look at your eyebrows, you look at your hair, right? You get distracted. My advice is to practice in front of other people and ask them to give you feedback. So for example, before you come to my class, before the evil Mr. Farran comes to class, you guys come early. You guys can come early. Zainab can for example present. Shahad can present in front of her classmates, and so on and so forth. And then you guys can get feedback from each other before I walk into class. Okay, guys. Remember, you still have not started your presentation. You're still sitting at home, huh? So number one, prepare. Number two, practice. Number three, look the part. I don't know if you remember, guys, but when we talked about first impressions, I mentioned that people will generally judge you or they will form an impression about you based on the way you look before you even open your mouth. So it's good to give people this impression that, you know what, I look professional, I am a professional. As a teacher, for example, I always feel more confident wearing a shirt and a tie, for example. I can come to class wearing a t-shirt, but I just don't feel too confident by doing that, right? Also, sometimes certain items of clothing help you feel more confident. I think with women, for example, if you wear high heels, you just feel more confident. Even the way you walk is different, right? Think of a woman wearing high heels. She just sounds more confident, right? Imagine coming to class looking like this, for example, right? It's not the best look to have. You don't really feel too confident looking like this. So maybe wearing a suit, right? Maybe wearing a suit or wearing something that looks a bit formal can actually fool you into thinking that you are confident. So think about what you're going to wear the next time you come to class, okay, when you have a presentation. It can affect the way you feel, right? Some people even have like a lucky necklace, or they have like a lucky bracelet or something like that. If you believe in those things, then go ahead and use them as well, and they might actually help you. Okay? Number 4, Taban, I've spoken about this 100 times. We've talked about confidence, but guys, it's very important to question why you are not confident. What is making you not confident? What are you scared of? Making a mistake? We all make mistakes. Adi, so what? What are you scared of? People might talk about you? So what? Let them talk about you. We're all here to learn. We're all here for the same reason. We all want to learn. We all want to be better speakers. I'm not a perfect speaker, by the way. I'm also learning. I'm a teacher, but I'm also learning. I want to be a better teacher. I want to be a better presenter. You understand? So we're all here for the same reason, guys. And if you believe in yourself, then you should be good to go. And by the way, the more you practice, the more confident you're going to feel. That's why I tell you guys, please practice as much as you can. In front of your friends, family members. You can take a video of yourself and then watch it later, right? So confidence it's going to change your game. If you can feel confident, you will do very well, inshallah. And the best way to be confident is actually prepare and practice before you come to class. Because the ones who don't feel confident are the ones who are not sure about themselves. But if you prepare and you practice well, it should help boost your confidence. Remember, guys, you have not started your presentation, huh? I'm only giving you tips on what to do before you come to class. Now, step number 5, this is where you start. This is where you start your presentation, okay? And what is the best way to start your presentation? If you think about it, most people start their presentations in exactly the same way. Hello, good morning. My name is Muhammad, and today I will talk about what, right? Hello, my name is Sarah, and today I'll talk about it. Hello, my name is Ahmed, and Mr. Farhan forced me to talk about this topic, right? So instead of saying your name and then telling me I'm going to talk about this, why not start your presentation in a more interesting way? Can anyone give me any examples? How can you start your presentation in a more interesting way? If you have an answer, just please raise your hand because I don't want it to be chaotic. How can we start our presentation in a more interesting way? Yes, Shahad, go ahead.
By questions
Yes, excellent. You can actually ask a question. Very good. Rula, what do
or
you...
quote
Sorry, go ahead, Shahad.
or quotes.
Or quote. Excellent. Question or quote. Yes, Rula?
I was gonna say the same thing by asking a question.
Okay, great. By asking a question. Very good. Fatma?
The same thing, asking a question, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. You can ask a question to make it more interesting. Yes, so if you ask a question, you're automatically engaging these people. Automatically, you understand? Ghazal?
Maybe by telling a joke.
Excellent, exactly. Yes. If you have a sense of humor, please, if you, yeah, you can use jokes. But if you don't have a sense of humor, trust me, don't do it. Zainab?
Like giving science information or statistics.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, giving certain bits of information that might be interesting to people. Yeah, Iman?
By starting with a hook to grab their attention, like telling them a story or a fact.
Yes, by giving them a fact, maybe. Okay, Judy?
I was gonna say the same thing by telling a story.
Okay, by telling a story. Very good. Dua?
Having nice energy.
Having nice energy. Okay, that's good. Yes, you have to have good energy when you first start. That makes sense. Iman, anything else? Okay, yeah. So guys,
No.
yeah. Okay, thank you, Iman. Yeah. So guys, as I said, very good. Everything you guys said makes sense. You can actually have a better presentation. You can start your presentation in a better way by the things you guys mentioned. By number one, maybe asking a question. Number two, by giving us an interesting quote. Number three, by sharing a joke. Number four, by giving us an interesting fact. Did you know that 50% of Mr. Farhan's students fall in love with the English department, for example, right? This is a good way to start your presentation because now you've got their attention. You can start your presentation by giving us a short story. A very short story. I mean, don't spend 2 hours, telling us a story. You understand? So, guys, the next time you have a presentation, think of the way you want to start your presentation. You want to hook them right from the get-go, ala tul. That's why Iman mentioned the word hook. I think you guys have heard the word hook in EL117 when you're writing an essay. When you're writing an essay in EL117, the very first sentence of your introduction is usually called the hook. Why? Because you want to hook the reader right from the very first sentence. It's exactly the same when it comes to giving a presentation. You don't want to bore the audience. And when it comes to giving a presentation, you want to actually attract them right from the very first thing you say. And you can do so by asking a question, giving an interesting quote, by sharing a short story, by giving a funny, by saying a joke, things like that. Okay, guys? So now you've started your presentation, unforgettable start. Taban, the first thing you have to do is please focus on your voice. Make sure that your voice is loud and clear. Again, I'm trying to tell you something here. Don't go too fast and don't be too slow. I am guilty of being a bit too fast sometimes. Remember, I'm not a perfect speaker. I'm still learning myself. I have flaws. Learn from my flaws, don't do them, but take the good things from me. You understand? So when you speak, make sure that your voice is loud, make sure your voice is clear, and don't go too fast and don't be too slow. Okay? The goal is to find the middle ground, somewhere in the middle where it's not too fast and it's not too slow. If it's too slow, people will hate you and you will bore them to death. And if it's too fast, people will not understand what you're trying to say. Okay? Again, with your voice, don't forget to animate your voice. Animate, of course, I think you guys have heard of the word animation or the word animate. Animate your voice means make sure that your voice is interesting to listen to. Right? Some people tell me, Mr. Farhan, but this is the way God created me, Mr. Farhan. Why are you trying to change me? Right? I'm not trying to change you. What I'm trying to say is, when you're giving a presentation, when you're giving a speech, you are not you. You are someone else. Like the voice I'm using with you guys right now is not the same voice I use with my kids. Do you think I use this voice with my kids? Of course I don't. Can you imagine? Hi guys, how are you? Oh my God, I miss you guys so much. I don't do that. This is not my. This is my teaching voice. The voice you hear right now is my teaching voice. I have another voice which I use with my family members. right? When you speak to different people, you speak in a different way. I mean, think about this. Do you speak to your friends in exactly the same way as you speak to your parents? No, طبعا. Do you speak to a close friend in the same way you speak to a stranger? No, طبعا. Do you speak to a baby in the same way you speak to a teacher? No. Can you imagine you speaking to a teacher in the same way you speak to a baby? Hello, Mr. Ferran. Oh my God, Mr. Ferran, I miss you so much. No, you don't do that, of course, right? So in different situations, you change your voice. And when you're giving a speech, you must make sure that your voice is interesting to listen to, it's animated, and it's just attractive for people to listen to, right? So make sure that your voice is interesting to listen to. If it's not, keep practicing, okay? Number 8, don't forget your body language. Body language is very important. Think of your hands, think of how you're standing, maybe take a few steps back and forth. Your hands should not be behind your back, or should not be in your pocket. Your hands should be out there, trying to almost like physically grab the audience to bring them into your presentation, okay? Number 9, don't forget eye contact. Eye contact is very important, yes? It's good to try to look around in the class, just to kind of make eye contact with the people. If you can't look at people directly in their eyes, just look between the chairs, or look at the top of their heads. If you do that, you give off the impression that you are making eye contact with the audience. You don't want to look at the floor, or stare at the teacher, or look at the ceiling. Okay? You want to appear as if you are making eye contact with everyone in the class. But remember, guys, when you make eye contact, please do not do it in a creepy way. Every time I tell students to make eye contact, there's always 1 or 2 students who stare at people. So please do not pick one poor miskin guy, or one poor person, and then stare at them for the whole class. I had one girl in my class, she made everyone feel very uncomfortable, because for every presentation she would choose one dahiya, one victim, and she would stare into their souls. You understand? So don't do that. Try to look around, try to make sure that you make eye contact with everybody, and don't stare only at one person, because it becomes creepy. Yes? Number 10, don't forget to manage your time. Very important, because we have a big class. You don't have half an hour, yeah, so you have to make sure if Mr. Farhan says 2 to 3 minutes, then it's somewhere around that time. Okay, because again, by the way, this is part of preparing. When you prepare your presentation before you come to class, you have to ask yourself, how much time do I have? Because if Mr. Farhan gives me 10 minutes to speak, I will have to add more information. But if he only gives me 2 to 3 minutes, I can't include that much information. I can only include what is important. So make sure that you manage your time. If you're scared that you might go beyond the time, or you're scared that you might finish a bit early, you can ask someone to help you. Okay? I can ask someone to kind of wave their hands in the air to tell you that, wallah, your time is whatever. You've passed 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. Okay? So we can do that to help you. Number 11, engage your audience. As I talked about before, it's very important to kind of get your audience members to kind of be part of your presentation. It's like my class. That's why I don't like online teaching, by the way. I like physical classes more, because I can engage, like I can get you guys involved more in a physical class. I can see you guys. Whereas online teaching, I feel like I'm just talking to my computer sometimes, right? So in physical classes for me are usually more interesting, because they're more engaging. And remember, as a speaker, as a presenter, it's not about you, it's about your message, it's about the students, it's about the audience members. Okay, guys? So make your speech engaging, try to engage them, try to ask them questions, try to get them involved. You understand? If you do that, your presentation will be a success. And my final tip, the last piece of advice I have for you is, before you sit down, before you say goodbye, try to leave the audience members with something to think about. Give them something to think about. Give them a quote, give them a question, so that even though you sat down, you said thank you, you sat down, people are still thinking about what you just said, right? For example, imagine I ask you to give a presentation about the value of life, or what is life, for example. Just before you finish your presentation, you might ask, so guys, those were my ideas. In your opinion, what is the meaning of life? Thank you so much for your time. People clap for you, yes. You sit down, but people are still thinking about your question. Maybe give them a thought-provoking quote. Give them a quote that is so beautiful that people are still thinking about it. So that even though they finish class, people are still thinking about what you said. Okay, guys? So those are my top 12 tips if you wish to be a superior presenter. Okay? By the way, on LMS, I forgot to show you, you have the announcements over here. You have the audio recordings over here. Yeah, I have some helpful notes, by the way, over here if you want some helpful notes. Important links like my blog, of course. Some helpful videos. If you want to watch videos of professional public speakers, you can actually see them on LMS. How to start a speech, for example. How to improve your speaking. How to boost your confidence, which is something that everyone needs. 4 steps to great speaking. 5 aspects of a powerful voice. I even gave you some interesting books like Talk Like TED. Some interesting short books. I actually read this one. Very, very good book that give you helpful tips on how to be a better speaker. Again, some interesting quotes as well, just to kind of help you guys, motivate you, and also some board games. Some board games, because remember, not all speaking has to be done in class, right? So there are some interesting board games. I have this one, for example, Taboo. Very, very interesting board game that kind of it's all about speaking. You have like a team, and there's a word that your friends have to convey, but you cannot use certain words to convey it. For example, you guys have to guess the word fire. I have to describe the word fire and you have to guess the word fire, but I cannot use the word smoke, hot, heat, and so on and so forth. So it's a very interesting game where I have to use my spoken language and for you guys to guess the word I'm thinking about, okay? And so on and so forth. And by the way, at the very end of the LMS page on EL119, it says here, share your feedback with us. If you have anything you want to share with us anonymously, I will not know who said what. All you have to do is click on this link and you can share it with us, okay? So if you have suggestions to improve the course, if you have feedback, if you want to complain, if you want to criticize, if you want to hish about a certain teacher, do it anonymous. If you want to do it anonymously as well, please click on this link and you can be able to share. We will give you the chance to share your feedback with us, okay? And by the way, whatever you share, your name will not appear. Don't worry. It is done anonymously. Okay, guys? So guys, any questions so far? Any questions about LMS or about how to be a great speaker? Please talk if you want. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Any questions so far? Nothing? Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay guys, so as I said, for today's class, we will talk a bit about risk-taking. Risk-taking is the 5th unit in the book. Let me just, yeah, okay. So guys, the first thing I want from you is, I want someone to tell me what is risk-taking, right? And then I'll ask you, can anyone tell me what is risk-taking? If you have an answer, just please raise your hand. What is risk-taking before I start? Can anyone tell me? Yes, Rula, go ahead.
It's like when you make a decision and you're confused which decision you have to choose, and you have to take a risk for choosing.
You have to take a risk for choosing. Okay, so Rula, can you give me an example of a risk you once took in your life?
Okay, I have a job and I was gonna risk that I will go out of this job and find another one, which is a hard thing to do, finding a new job.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wouldn't risk.
Okay,
It's really hard nowadays to find one.
That's true. It's a very good example. As Rula said, finding a job is like a risk, or changing your job is a risk, because as Rula said, it's not easy to find a job. It's not easy finding a job these days, right? Masara, can you tell us? Sorry, yeah, go ahead, Rula.
You're gonna change your day and your what do you call it? Your organization for your day.
That's true. Exactly.
Yeah.
Your whole life changes if you change your job. That's so true. Yes, Masara, go ahead.
Yes, doctor. When you start kind of home business or something, you have to take the risk, but not a full risk. You have to know that at least that you have your budget, you have the cost, you have everything that you can work on. But sometimes you have to get this quick action. That is, I have to do it, and I do it today. This is the point. It's kind of risk, but sometimes, yes, it works in successful way, and as others sometimes it fails.
Nice.
That's it. Think that you may have it in a good future, or it goes badly.
Exactly.
Or something comes from out and stop it, or let it be done. But this is the point that we can't. We do this. We think a lot. We organize things, and we look for all details. But sometimes, yes, you need to have to take this decision, even if it's risky.
Exactly.
So yes, this is the point I want to start now.
Excellent.
But that's the thing.
Yeah, very good point. Exactly. Masara said sometimes you have to take the risk. Yeah, it's so true. Because if you don't take the risk, how will you learn? Right? How will you achieve anything in life? Very good. Good point, Masara. Iman, yes?
I think taking risk means when you're consciously taking the decision and you know this decision will risk your life
Mm-hmm.
consciously. Like maybe practicing a hobby, like climbing, maybe.
Okay, great. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe a hobby like hiking or climbing. Exactly. So as Iman said, you're consciously taking this decision. You know that when you take this decision, something bad might happen. Subhanallah, you might fail. Something you might get injured, but you take it anyway because life is full of risks, and if you don't take risks, you will not really learn anything. Right? Zainab, go ahead.
I think doctor choosing your department when you are only 18 years old, it is very hard for everyone. Like if I want to do something, but I cannot because maybe a financial problem
Mm-hmm.
or it is in another country. So you change your dreams to choose something else, but you are taking risk. If I will success on it, I will like it or not.
Yeah, true, exactly. Yeah, choosing your major, yeah, exactly. It's a huge risk because sometimes you don't really know if you're going to like it, if you're going to enjoy it, or you're going to hate it. A lot of the time, is students they don't choose the right major, right? It's a huge risk for them. Good point, Zainab. Shahad?
I think taking risks is like take a step without knowing like 100% of the last step of the results.
That's nice, Shahad. That's good, exactly. And do you think this is a good thing to do or a bad thing to do?
Sometimes it's really good to do, and sometimes no.
Okay. Shahad, what about
So
becoming?
it depends on
What about
depends
what
on
about marriage?
marriage is good. No, I'm joking.
I have to whisper as well. Don't worry. I have to whisper as well.
Yes, like marriage, it's risky. Sorry.
Is it a good
Like
risk or is it a bad
marriage
risk?
is it is sometimes if it end up in a good situation, it is a good risk. Sometimes if end up it's not a good risk.
Ah, okay.
It's
Okay, okay.
yeah, I mean it depends.
Depends. Okay, good. I have to lower the volume of my speakers because if my wife hears Shahad talking like this, I will die. But yes, yeah. What about Aya? Aya, you raised your hand and then like you ran away. I don't know why.
No, because Shahad told my idea. Like
Ah,
my idea was similar to Shahad's. Yeah,
she stole
like
your.
risky thing is a thing that you don't know what's the outcome from it.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what
It's
the
going
outcome.
to be good.
So like what? Can you give us an example, Aya? So can you give us an example from your own life?
Honestly, my own risk was when I traveled on my own when I was 17 to study abroad, and I
Wow.
didn't really know what the outcome was.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing. And do you? I mean, would you like recommend it, Aya? Was this like a good risk to take?
it was a good risk to take because it really changed my view
Mm-hmm.
about certain things. But like, not everyone are able to take this risk.
True. Exactly.
Like, unless you are sure that things are going to go good,
Okay.
like not 100%, like 40% are going to go good, then you need to take it. My problem was I wasn't even sure 20% that it's going to go in a good way.
I
And
see.
I risk it anyway. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Um, since Aya talked about her biggest risk and that her risk was basically traveling by herself, and I agree for being 17 years old, traveling by yourself, coming from the Arab world as well, being a female. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about Aya, of course. It's not easy. It's not easy for a 17-year-old Arab female young lady to just travel by herself, right? So Aya, would you consider that to be the biggest risk you've ever taken?
For now, yes.
Okay, for
I
now.
don't know what life is hiding for me.
She says, I don't know what life is hiding for her, but yeah, for now, that's her biggest risk. I was asking the boys once, guys, I want you to please share the biggest risk you've ever taken. And one of the boys, I think his name was Ali, and he's like, sir, wallah, the biggest risk is wallah, coming to your class. This is the biggest risk. I'm like, Habibi, what? My class isn't a risk. No, 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 sorry, you don't know. Wallah, your class is a huge risk for me. Wallah, I'm like, okay, thank you. So for some people, just coming to my class is a huge risk. But I want you to please think of this question, right? What is the biggest risk you've ever taken in your life? Right? I want to hear from everybody, if you don't mind, please. Yes? We heard from Aya, her biggest risk was taban traveling by herself at the age of 17. For Shahad, maybe it was, getting married or having, or becoming a mother. For me, you guys know exactly what my risk was. I married my risk. So you think of your own lives and tell me what was your biggest risk. Please share. Kauthar, are you here? Kauthar, are you with us?
Yes.
Kauthar, what was your biggest risk, if you don't mind, sharing with us?
Nothing until now.
Nothing until now.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. What about my class? Is my class a risk for you, Kauthar?
No.
Nothing.
No.
MashaAllah, you're so brave.
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. Kauthar, would you ever go skydiving?
No.
Why? You don't want to jump from a plane?
No.
Oh, okay. Kauthar will not go skydiving. Okay, great. Let's hear from Zainab.
For me, that was choosing English literature to be my department because
Really?
I like, yes, because my dream was chemistry. I like science. I like to be in lab, and I wanted to travel as a scholarship. But at the end, it not work, and I had like only 1 month or less maybe to change my department. So in my school, and when I was in school, I'm not good in English. That's why I take English. I want to change it. I want to prove myself. So maybe this is the
Biggest risk for you, huh?
yes.
I can't imagine that you were not good in English, Zainab. It's hard for me to imagine. No, really. It's almost impossible for me to imagine because, mashallah, your English is really good.
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah, you're welcome, Zainab. So again, there you go. Zainab said, طبعا her biggest risk was طبعا joining the English department, not because the evil Mr. Farran is there, but simply because she was more into sciences. According to what she said, she just wasn't good in English, and so I like how she challenged herself. You understand? She's like, because I wasn't good in English, you know what? I'm going to take this risk, and I will improve myself in English. And mashallah, you can all see how amazing Zainab is in class, mashallah. Who else do we have? Yes, Masara, go ahead. What is your biggest risk, Masara, other than getting married? Yes, Masara, go ahead. I don't know if Masara can hear me. Masara, can you hear me?
No, sir.
Yes,
Now
okay.
I'm telling you, just for fun, sir, when I go to avenues, I think this is the most dangerous risk I do to my husband.
What?
He's always thinking the card is coming, the message of the card is coming to his mobile. It's always like taking, moving, and decreasing in his head. Okay, and when will we stop? When will we go home? And this is one of the risks I for my husband, and just for fun, and not saying anything. But for me, being beside a driver who drives fast, I feel from the first point till the end a very big and bad risk coming to me, and I can't handle it.
True.
Always, I'm closing my eyes. I'm not doing anything. I'm so afraid.
Really?
It's not like fear only. It's like I know why you are doing this. Especially when it's like mountains or some high places you're going to. No, I don't like to go this way, this side. It's so dangerous.
Yeah.
So I think this is a risk to do. But some people are okay. It's not a matter. I can do it. It's fine. Okay. But others, I feel like it's a big risk. But not happening with me. Alhamdulillah, I'm not doing this. But it's a risk.
Interesting. Thank you for that, Masara. Yeah, I mean, I understand your husband's risk when you go to the avenues because he keeps getting these messages. This is what I fear as well, by the way. Exactly the same fear. That's exactly the same.
Yes.
Yeah. But yes, I mean, driving. Yeah, I mean, Masara talked about driving, maybe sometimes in the mountains, some areas. By the way, even in Kuwait, driving in Kuwait is a risk, especially after it rains. Have you seen the roads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do your turn, sir, this is an awful decision to do.
Exactly.
While people, they are going like as fast as they can.
That's so true, yeah.
Even when they found that you're at the middle of the U-turn, but no, they want to move. And that's so too risky. يعني.
That's so true. 100%. Yeah, exactly, guys. So imagine.
And especially, or doctor, especially when they're fasting, they're so crazy when they
Yeah.
fight.
Well, it's again, as Iman mentioned, it's so funny because when you're fasting, you're supposed to be more pious. You're supposed to be closer to God. You're supposed to be, your behavior is supposed to be better. But somehow in Ramadan, when it comes to driving, they forget that they're. I don't know what happens to them. Like they forget everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, even driving can be a risk, especially in Kuwait because with the roads are not proper sometimes, especially after it rains. We have a lot of crazy drivers. Even in Ramadan when people are fasting, instead of driving more carefully, people drive in a crazy way. So coming to my class can be a risk for some people. Driving can be a risk for some people. Getting married can be a risk. Becoming a parent can be a risk for some people, right? I just wanted to ask: has anyone ever gone bungee jumping or skydiving?
Never.
Never, Masara?
I will not. No, and I will never.
Oh, really? You'll never try it?
Yeah. No, I never tried, but I will not do it.
You-
I
Oh, okay.
don't like that type of sports or entertainment thing.
Okay, Masara. Okay, so Masara will never do it. Let's hear from Fatma. I think Fatma. Fatma, have you done it?
Yes, Victor, and Chad.
In Chabd.
Yes, it's so scary. I don't like it.
You went to a place called Chabd and you jumped from a plane?
Yeah, they do just like it's not a food. I don't know. It's a place. Everyone, if you want to jump, you can go skydiving there, but you should contact and everything. Everything.
Okay, and what was it like for you, Fatma, to jump from a plane? I mean, did you have fun? Was it scary? Did you almost die? What
No,
happened?
it's scary because it's a desert.
It's scary because it's a
Not
desert.
good. Yeah, the view is not good.
The view is not good, but if
But
you...
it's yeah, but the feeling is so nice.
The feeling is very nice.
Oh.
Oh, okay, great, Fatma, mashallah. You're very brave, Fatma, mashallah. Yeah, I mean, Fatma, if you can jump from a plane, then you should not be scared giving a presentation. Honestly.
Victor, I can't. Wallah, if someone see me in my eye, I confuse too much.
Fatma, you jumped from a plane. You almost jumped to your death, and you're scared of a 2-minute presentation, Mr. Farhan's class? Seriously, if you jump from a plane, you have no excuse. I don't want you to shake, because if you can jump from a flying plane, oh my God. So yeah, you have no excuse.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, Fatma. Zainab, what about you? Have you ever tried bungee jumping or skydiving?
Doctor, I would like to try skydiving. I like this kind of things, but I tried something else. It is here in Kuwait. It is like an open with parachute. You go like, especially in half February.
Okay.
It is very nice. Yeah, usually it is open. Everywhere is open. You will not like go up, but you can see the beach and you can see the city. in general.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes, it is very beautiful feeling. I would like to jump something if my mom accept that.
Yeah,
That's the problem. Yes, I
G-
like it's dangerous. Like, it's fine for me.
Oh, Zainab likes dangerous things. That's why she joined my class, because she likes danger. Yeah.
That's the best thing I do with this course, this course, doctor.
Oh, wow.
I really like. Yes, I really like the class.
Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you, Iman and Zainab. Well, you guys, this is why I was sad when I heard that our class might be online. I'm like, no, like I mean, this is like one of my favorite classes. Why should I have it online? Like, you understand? I don't mind any other section having online, but with you guys, it's like, oh, you guys are just very, very nice. Haram. Why should I have this class online? But anyway, this is life. What can we do? What about Ghazal? Ghazal, you're very quiet today. Are you okay?
Yes, I am okay, doctor.
Yeah, Ghazal, would you ever go skydiving like Fatma?
Yes, I would like to.
Really?
Yes,
Aren't you scared of?
like it, like it's like an experience, like to challenge myself,
Okay.
especially because I scared of heights.
Aha.
Yeah, so I would like to do that just to to get rid of my fear.
Excellent. I love that. So guys, I don't know if you heard what Ghazal said. She said, I want to go skydiving. I have a fear of heights, but I want to do it because that's the only way I can get rid of my fear. And that's so true. So what Ghazal said is very important, guys. Listen carefully. If you ever want to get rid of a fear, you have to confront it. You have to face it. And that's why my class is perfect. Because some people like Fatma, for example, they don't like giving a presentation. She just said, if someone looks at my eye, I get scared. But the only way to overcome your fear is to confront your fear. That's why one of my favorite quotes says this: the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Again, listen very carefully. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. So guys, anything that you are scared of, face it, because when you face it, you will learn something valuable. If you are scared of public speaking, take more classes with Mr. Farran. You understand? Again, this is exactly what Zainab did. Zainab was not good. She was scared. She wasn't good in English. And what she did was she majored in English. You understand? So guys, when you face your fear, you will discover that, you know what, it's not that scary. Because remember, think of yourself from day one. Oh my God, I'm taking a speaking class with Mr. Farran. Oh my God, I have to stand and give a presentation. Oh my, I'm going to fail. But then with time, you discover that, you know what, it's not that scary. If I prepare a bit, if I practice a bit, if I take Mr. Farran's notes or like feedback into consideration, I can actually do a good job. It's not that bad. It's not that easy. Sorry, it's not that hard. I mean, I just ruined it. It's not that hard. All you have to do is just prepare, take some, take the feedback I give you, and inshallah you'll get there. Yes, Rula, go ahead.
I wanted to say, what if you're talking about skydiving and stuff like that? What if someone tried to risk for it because they're scared of height, but they almost knocked out or had a heart attack from it? So of course they wouldn't take a risk.
I mean, if you have a certain condition, Rula, yeah, I mean, obviously, yes. If you're like pregnant, for example, if you're pregnant, don't go skydiving because you might give birth in the sky, right? But if you have, if you have a certain heart condition or certain, maybe they tell you, if you have certain conditions, then don't go skydiving. But if you're healthy and you're normal, and trust me, and you do it, you will overcome this fear.
No, because I was gonna try skydiving.
Yeah.
Okay, when I traveled, but at the same, I don't fear heights usually.
Okay.
But when I tried it, I almost knocked out, so I stopped doing it because I felt like it's too risky. So it's too much.
You almost passed out?
Yeah, I almost passed out.
But wasn't it fun for you, Rula?
Yeah, actually, it was so
There you go. See, it was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it gets scary when you feel like you're almost gonna pass out, like you get dizzy, like out of nowhere. Like you're good, your health is good, but at the same time you felt dizzy,
Yeah, you get a bit dizzy, but you did you die?
No.
No, you're still alive, right? So you learned something from that experience. You learned to face your fear, and just by doing that experience, Rula, that might motivate you to face other fears in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, actually.
Yeah. So so you might not go skydiving again because maybe it was a bit too extreme for you, but just the act of you facing your fear and going skydiving can probably motivate you to kind of challenge or to confront the other fears you have in your life, like maybe public speaking, for example, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Fatma, you had your hand up as well?
Yes, Victor.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, Victor. Wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Fatma.
Victor, not only I'm scared, I'm also I'm scared of I do mistake.
Okay, so you mean like when it comes to public speaking, Fatma?
Yeah, I scared do mistakes because I'm not too much good in English. I'm still learning, so I scared sometimes I do some word I can't say my feeling is exactly to the student or to the doctor.
That's okay.
So
it's okay, Fatma.
only that.
Yeah, Fatma, tell me, is it halal or haram to make mistakes?
It's halal.
Okay, great. If it's halal, then do it. You understand? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's okay to make mistakes, guys. As I said, we all make mistakes. I still make mistakes, right? If you want, I'll bring you my wife. She'll tell you, all right? We all make mistakes. Really. It's okay. The point is not making a mistake. The point is what happens after the mistake. If you are able to learn from your mistake, then you are not the same person. Yeah, you will learn, you will change, you will develop. That's how we learn, guys. We learn by making mistakes. Yeah? So don't worry, Fatma. Don't worry. And this is for everybody. Don't worry about making mistakes in my class. It's okay. No one's going to remember anything anyway. And also, when you make mistakes, you learn from them and you become a better version of yourself. By the way, speaking of skydiving, I know that some of you want to do it. Some of you want to challenge your fears. Other people don't want to do it. And some of you, right? I actually had a similar experience. I always had a fear of heights. But skydiving was always on my list of things I want to achieve before I leave this planet. You understand? And to be honest, I was always scared. I was never a brave person when I was younger. Like every time we went to a theme park, I would never ride the roller coaster. I don't know. Do you know these small rides for children where like and you sit like in a teacup? You have to like sit in a cup in a teacup, and then like you have to twist. There's like a little. There's like a yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I would get scared of those. I would get dizzy because of those. You know, like my kids, I would take my kids. My kids like, Baba, wee! I'm like, guys, please take it easy. Shway. I would get scared of the teacups. But then, I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because I got married. Because once you get married, like nothing's scary anymore. You know, like my wife is like the scariest thing. So once you do that, nothing is scary anymore. So I decided, you know what? I want to go skydiving. And do you guys want to see me skydive?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't go in church.
Okay, the thing is, I have a video. I'm not gonna make you watch the whole thing. I will only show you the first 2 seconds of the video. Okay? Ready?
Okay.
Okay, Bismillah.
Okay.
Okay, this is the video. First 2 seconds of me skydiving. Okay? Ready? Okay, so that's the first two. That's me skydiving. Okay?
Oh.
Did you hear me scream? Did you guys hear me scream?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
Where was that?
this is in what's it called? خيطان مش خيطان لا خيران Resort. It's actually in Kuwait.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a company called Kuwait Skydive, and I decided to take my wife with me because my dream was to push her off the plane. But you know how they always say like, ladies first, subhanallah. But on the day of the skydive, they're like, no, men first. They're like, what? Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I jumped from the plane. Sarah, it was one of the scariest experiences of my life. I the first 10 seconds of me falling from the plane, I felt like I was gonna die. This is the end of my life. And of course, I did not tell my parents because, you know, if my parents found out, then they would kill me. Like my mom would actually kill me. Yeah. But it was very, very scary. But to be honest, it was a very memorable experience. It was like it's so like I don't know. I can't describe it, but it was so intense, and it's one of those days that you will never forget. So if you want to do something extreme, and you want to remember that day for the rest of your life, then trust me, go skydiving. It was a very, very interesting experience. Very, very scary. I will not pretend that I was brave. No. It was very, very scary. I was falling to my death. But it was one of those days that I'll just never forget, you know? So if you want to do something extreme and almost pass out, as Rola said, then trust me, go skydiving. Yes, Zainab.
Doctor, do you want to make it again?
I have 3 kids now, so I'm going to say no. Yeah, so... but I mean, it's very interesting, to be honest. If you want to do something extreme, I think this is like the most extreme thing. And when I showed my siblings, when I showed my brothers and sisters the pictures and the videos, they're like, "No way, you went skydiving." Because I was scared of teacups. Remember, I was like a chicken when I was younger. I was scared of everything. So when I showed them the video, they're like, "No, this is photoshopped." So I was the first person in the family to actually jump from a plane and survive, alhamdulillah. So yeah, very interesting experience. I'm going to show you a few quotes and tell me whether you guys. Thank you for clapping, Fatma. I appreciate it. Tell me whether you guys agree or not. It says here, when we stop taking risks, we stop living life. I don't know. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? What do you think? When we stop taking risks, we stop living life. What do you think? Zainab is giving me a thumbs up with Aya as well. Can you give me an example? Think of an example. When we stop taking risks, we stop living life. What does that mean? Or just, can you explain what you think that means? Yes, Rula, go ahead.
I think it means that if we don't take risks in our life, I don't think so we're gonna move on with our lives.
Exactly.
With our thoughts.
Exactly.
And our usual, like, what we do and what do we want to change, like taking risks for our changes in our life.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Exactly. Because guys, if you think about life itself is a risk. Everything you do in life is a risk, right? So if you don't take risks, then you're not really living your life. You're not really doing much with your life, right? I mean, you can stay at home, you can hide at home all day long, and not achieve anything, and not get anything. But what is the purpose of that life, right? Masada, yeah.
For me, doctor, I don't give it the name of risk. I give it the name of challenge.
Nice. I love it.
like to do challenge. I like to do new things, improve the things that I have, but not in a risky way, or I will not put it as a risk. And I'm afraid of saying risk that it may fail, or I can't do it, or it must cause something for me badly. But as a challenge, yes, I can be in challenge with everything, and I can try anything. That's it. From food, from trip, from having kids, from having any needs, everything. It's like a challenge for me, but not a risk.
Excellent. I like that. Very nice, Masara. Very nice. And I like the way Masara changed the word from risk to challenge. Because, yeah, when you say risk, it sounds a bit, it sounds a bit dangerous when you say something's a risk. But when you say the word challenge, it just changes the way you see that word, right? So, yeah, very nice. I like that, Masara. Instead of seeing things as risks, see them as small challenges that can actually change and improve your life for the better. Very nice. I think Zainab, you had your hand up?
Yes, doctor. I just want to add that, like, without risk, there is no life. Because, like, the risk is give you more changes in your life. You will improve yourself. You will not live in routine.
Exactly.
But like, the risk is your pepper in your life, like this.
Exactly. Very good. Yeah. Good point. Good point, Zainab. Exactly. Guys, think of your lives, right? Imagine. I want you all to imagine that you live to the age of 90. May God give you all a long and healthy life, inshallah. Right? And imagine your grandkids come and talk to you. And they're like, Teta, Teta, or with Muhammad, Jiddu, Jiddu, right? Tell me about your life. What did you do? Where did you go? What risks did you take? What did you discover? Tell me. And then like you think back to your life and you're trying to think of an interesting situation. You're trying to think of an interesting incident to tell your grandkids. And all you say is TikTok. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Wallah, I don't have anything to share with you, Habibi. And like your grandkids are like, no, please tell me more. Tell me more about your life. Where did you go? What did you see? What did you do? Tell me about an adventure that you had. You're like, Wallah, I was busy. I was busy stalking your grandfather on TikTok, and Wallah, nothing. I didn't do anything with my life, Habibi. My life is empty. Nothing. I have nothing to share with you. That's very sad. It's very sad to look back at your life and say that I have nothing to share. You understand? It's nice to have something. It's nice to fight for something.
Exactly.
Right, guys? Yeah, like you don't. By the way, one of the worst feelings in the world is the feeling of regret. The feeling that, you know what, I wish I had more time. I wish I can go back in time. I wish I could have done this and that and this and that, right? Trust me, guys, take it from me. When you get older in life, you will have less opportunities. When you're young, yes, you have the world is yours. You have a lot to do. When you get older in life, you start having health problems. You might have less money, for example. So take the opportunities that come your way. Don't wait until you're older. I mean, God has not. There's no guarantee for tomorrow, for example. So take the opportunities that come your way, and trust me, they will add something to your life. Even though when I jumped from the plane, it was so scary, but I challenged myself. It was a fear that I had. It was a genuine fear that I had, but I challenged myself, and I learned so much. I learned that I can do almost anything I want to. I can do anything I put my mind to. Jumping from a plane helped me challenge my other fears, you understand? That's very important. Okay, Lee. Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you later, okay, Habib? That's my daughter, yes. Yeah, I love you too. One good thing about teaching physically in class is that your daughters don't come and interrupt you while you're teaching. But anyway, again, guys, what I'm trying to say is take the opportunities and chances that come your way in life. Yes, they might be risky, or as Masara called them, yes, they might be small challenges, but these challenges will show you, will give you something. They will teach you something about who you are as a person. They will add something to your life. Do you guys know Abbas ibn Farnas, by the way? I don't know if you know this guy. Have you guys heard of him? Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Every time we think of smart people, by the way, we always think of people like Einstein, right? Or Stephen Hawking, whatever, right? We don't think of the Arabs or like the Muslims who came our way, right? There are many Arabs, many people who actually changed the way we live our life. Abbas ibn Farnas is actually a good example. Abbas ibn Farnas, when we're talking about taking risks, he was one of the few people that actually took a risk in his life. He's like, you know what? Why can't humans fly? So he would see birds flying, and he's like, why can't we fly? What makes a bird fly? Is it the wings? Is it the tail? طيب, if the wings make the bird fly, if I build wings and put them on myself, can we fly? So Abbas ibn Farnas, he was brave enough to actually take the risk. He was actually brave enough to actually build a glider and attach it to himself, and he would actually take these risks and jump from small cliffs and mountains to try to fly, to try to glide. And it's because of people like Abbas ibn Farnas that we have this amazing technology that we have today. He did not invent the airplane, طبعا, because at the time he did not have the technology to invent the airplane. But it's because of people like Abbas ibn Farnas, it's because of his risks that today we actually have airplanes. And he inspired other people, other generations down the line to actually think of human flight. Is it possible for humans to fly? And it's because of people like him who took risks that today we enjoy the luxuries of having airplanes. So sometimes the risk you take can actually inspire other people, right? When you speak in class, for example, when you give a presentation, you might inspire your friends. Imagine, for example, Zainab and Aya. They're good friends, right? Imagine Aya is scared to give a presentation. And then Zainab says, you know what, I'll do it, don't worry, khalas. Right? Just by Zainab getting up and taking a risk and giving the presentation, she just might inspire her friend Aya to do the same. Yes, Aya?
It's a true story, actually.
Oh, subhanallah.
The last presentation, I was really scared from presenting. So Zainab took the risk first and told me I will do it first, and then, yes, it actually worked.
There you go, subhanallah. See? It happened in real life, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, sometimes it's just when you do something, when you take a risk, you just might inspire others, right? Again, if you're a mother, if you're a father, you're a mother, you're a parent, sometimes by you taking a risk, you are inspiring your children to do the same, to be strong, right? I like this quote. It says, every man dies, but not every man really lives. Right? This is taken from the movie Braveheart. طبعا the guy playing Braveheart, or the guy playing William Wallace in that movie is what's his name? Tom Hanks. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, right? So every man.
I love this movie.
Yeah, it's beautiful, right, Iman? Have you seen the movie?
Yes, I've seen it many times. Like just like Titanic.
Exactly. Oh, please.
I forget the name.
Forget Titanic. Please don't remind me of Titanic. It's one of the worst movies ever. But yes, Braveheart is a very beautiful movie. It's actually based on a true story of a warrior, of a man who was fighting for the freedom of his own country. So the warrior was called William Wallace. And he says something beautiful in the movie. He says, every man dies, but not every man really lives. Right? Guys, think of your lives. Are you living or are you just existing? Are you living a life that is full of adventure and excitement? Are you living a life that is fulfilling? Are you living a life that is true to your values? Or are you just existing and waiting to go to bed so that you can wake up the next morning and do nothing again? Guys, wallah, life is short. I don't need to tell you this because you guys know this already. Life is short. Take advantage of it, guys. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want people to remember you? And trust me, you will not be remembered if you don't take risks in life. Why do we remember people like Abbas ibn Farnas? It's because he took a risk. Why do we remember people like William Wallace? Because he fought for his country. He took a risk. The ones who take risks are the ones who are remembered, the ones who will never be forgotten. But if you don't take risks in life, if you live a life that is safe, that is not full of adventure, you will not see anything. You will not achieve anything. There's a quote by a famous Chinese philosopher. I like his name. His name is Lao Tzu. His name sounds like a sneeze. Lao Tzu, Habibi, bless you. You understand? And he says something very beautiful. He says, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Let me read. I'm going to read this to you again and try to focus. Try to understand what he's saying. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Can anyone tell me what this means? What does this mean? What does this quote mean? When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be.
I think it's the changes that someone did
themselves,
or decisions or anything that I don't want to be the person that I was before. I want to change, or I want to do something else, or just to risk.
Yeah, very good, exactly. I don't want to be the person I was. I want to change. I want to be a different person. I want to be a person that did something with their life. Yes, very good. Fatma?
she said already the same my
Oh,
answer.
okay, same thing. Yeah. So guys, think of your life now. Thank you, Fatma. Think of your life now. If you let go of who you are today, let go of your insecurities, let go of all the toxic people in your life, let go of all the negativity in your life, you just might become the person you are destined to be. God has kept you alive for a reason. God did not create you just out of the blue. God gave you a purpose. There's a reason for your existence. You understand? So fulfill that purpose. There's a wise man once said, the two most important days of your life are, number one, the day you are born, and number two, the day you discover why you were born. Right? So guys, if you let go, think of my class. Let's take my class as an example. Right? If you let go of all your fears, all your insecurities about giving a presentation, you just might become the person, the amazing presenter you were destined to be. You understand? Toxic people, negativity, and so on, they're like weights bringing you down. But then if you cut those chains, you can soar like a bird. Yes? In the end, we only...
agree.
Yeah, صح Iman? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And guys, remember, in the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. When you're old and you're thinking back to your life, you're not going to say, well, I regret skydiving and having fun and traveling and meeting people and discovering new ideas. No. You're going to say, Ya laytani, I wish I took more advantage of the time I had. I wish I met more people. I wish I traveled more. I wish I took more risks in my life. There's a beautiful book I highly, highly recommend. It's called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. What do dying people regret the most? What do people in hospitals, the patients who have a terminal illness, before they die, what are their regrets? If you want to find out, get this book. It's called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. It's a true story about a nurse who works in a nursing home. In Arabic we call them Dar Ajazam, right? And before these patients died, she wanted to ask them, what is your regret before you leave this earth, before you leave this planet? Maybe we can learn something from these older people. What do you regret doing? Right? And she put them all into this beautiful book, okay? Get the book if you want to learn. Before I say goodbye to you guys, let's just have a quick, a little quiz, if you don't mind, okay? A little quiz. So guys, here it says you take a risk and you decide to get married next week. Okay, guys? So I want you all just to choose a letter. A, B, or C. All of you, okay? Just in your heads. Okay, remember, you're taking a risk. Now, you're taking a risk, and you have to choose your potential husband in the future. If you're married like Shahid, pretend you're single. Enjoy your life for the next 5 minutes. Okay? So all of you, right? Muhammad, this is only for the ladies, so I'm sorry, this is not for you. Okay? So, if you're a lady in my class, and imagine you're taking a risk, and you want to get married next week, all I want you to do is just choose a letter, please. Either A, B, or C. Okay? Khalas? Do you all have a letter in mind?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, great. If you have a letter in mind, let me reveal your fate, your nasib. If you chose A, alf mabruk, this guy is your husband. Now they say he has a good personality. He has a good personality. He's very good with children. That's what they say. So alf mabruk, this guy is your future husband. If you chose B, this guy is your husband. Now they say he has a very good sense of humor, which is good. And if you chose C, alf mabruk, then this guy is your husband. He's good looking, but he's not very loyal. Keep that in mind. Okay? Let's do the same experiment, but this time you want to change your job. This time you're trying to change your job. Okay? Again, same thing. You're taking a risk. Choose either A, B, or C. Okay? Yes? Just choose. Just go with your gut feeling. Go with your gut feeling. Just choose a letter. Okay, guys? Do we have a letter each?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, great. If you chose A, alf mabruk, now you work in Zain. Not bad. Not bad. Not the best place to work in, but also not the worst place. Okay? Great. If you chose B, mabruk, now you work in McDonald's. Yes, you can have unlimited fries. Yeah, that's amazing. Good luck, good luck with your calories. And if you chose C, alf mabruk, now you work in Mahamid. That's amazing. Imagine you have husband A or B, and you work in Mahamid. MashaAllah, your life is complete. Okay? I also had, by the way, I have, if you download my notes, as always, guys, from my blog, you will see that I have a list of words, phrases, and quotes. By the way, if you want to go to my blog, all you have to do is just write Farran AOU on Google, as I did right now, and then forget the images, please, but then click on the first link you get over here. And when you click on my blog, you will see that on the right-hand side, you have EL119 class notes. You can download my notes from here. And when you download my notes, guys, you will see that I will give you a list of words, phrases, and quotes. Remember, for the final exam, we will ask you to talk about these units. Okay, so you don't have to memorize anything from here. All you have to do is just make sure that you are familiar with the things over here. For example, look at this quote. I love this quote. It says, "A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for." Remember, we're talking about risk-taking, right? Think of your life, right? And think of this quote. It says, "A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for." Imagine, if you have a ship, it is safe in the harbor. How do you say harbor in Arabic? What is a harbor in Arabic?
Mina.
Al-Mina, exactly. So a ship in harbor is safe. A ship in the Mina is safe. But that is not what ships are built for. A ship is built to weather the storm. A ship is built to travel from continents to continents, from country to country, to go over the waves, to overcome obstacles. SubhanAllah, just like you as a human being. You can stay in your room. You can hide in your room forever if you want to. But God did not create you to hide in your room. God made you to explore the world. God told you to get knowledge. God told you to travel. You understand? So we are not meant to hide from the world. We are meant to explore the world. We are meant to accumulate knowledge, to learn, to become better versions of ourselves. So on the final exam, if the teacher asks you to talk about, for example, taking risks, then you can use some of the words, you can use some of the phrases. You can also give this teacher some quotes about taking risks. And also, I will give you some short videos to watch that are all related to taking risks. Okay? And again, these videos will help give you some knowledge and some information, some more information about risk taking. Okay, guys? I have a list of questions. I wasn't able to do this because it's better if I put you into groups. But it's almost impossible to put you guys into groups when it comes to online teaching. But guys, don't forget. Number one, please don't forget to work on your audio recordings. As I said, these are the 5 topics you have. The deadline is on the 4th of May. So all you have to do is just read each question, answer it, record your thoughts and ideas just for 2 to 3 minutes. You save the file and then you send it on LMS, okay? I showed you the link, right? On LMS, it's over here, okay? You go up to the top of EL119 page, yeah, and then you'll see here, there's a link that says upload your 5 files here. You click here, and then you will be able to upload your files, okay? Do this, please, before the 4th of May. It's only 5 files. It should take you, Sarah, no more than 20 minutes, to be honest. This should take you no more than 20 minutes, and this is worth 10 marks. Okay, guys? And the discussion questions I have for you, I didn't have time to do them, but inshallah, maybe next time, if we have time later on in the course, again, maybe we will have a little discussion, but I'll quickly show you what they are. Very, very quickly. Yalla, ya office. Now is not the time to keep us waiting. Yeah, here, I'll just quickly show you. I'll quickly just go down to the bottom over here. Yeah, here, risk-taking, okay? So, number 12 is one of my favorite questions, but I cannot read it because I don't want to sleep outside. But yeah, you have just general questions about risks. Think of these questions as well, guys. Think of these questions and maybe they will also give you more information. Why are some people afraid to take risks? Are there any risky activities you'd like to try? Skydiving, for example. Would you ever consider bungee jumping or skydiving? Right? What is something you would risk your life to get? What is the most dangerous situation you've ever been in? What is risk taking? What risks are important to take? What does risk taking mean to you? Are risk takers more successful? How can Mr. Farran's class be seen as a risk? Oh my God, it's a risk every single time, right? And so on and so forth. So these questions will also give you more ideas if you want, or they will make you think. Okay, guys? So again, just to end on a good note, end on a positive note, guys, always, again, when I say take risks, I don't mean take stupid risks. I don't mean like, opening up your window and jumping from the window. No. When we talk about taking risks, we talk about taking calculated risks. Or as Masara mentioned, taking challenges. When you challenge your life, when you challenge yourself, you learn something about your life. you learn something about yourself as a human being. And the only way to change is to challenge yourself, right? Think of going to the gym. For those of you who like to work out, or when you go to the gym, right? You have to challenge your muscles. If you don't challenge your muscles are not going to grow. It's only when we challenge ourselves that we actually grow as human beings. Even physically speaking, when you go to the gym, you have to lift heavy. Because when you lift heavy, you are challenging your muscles. And when you challenge your muscles will change and grow, subhanAllah. So if it's not challenging, it's not going to change you. The things that don't challenge you in life will never change you in life. There was a famous show called Lost. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a show about a group of people who they were on a plane, and the plane crashes on an island. And one of them, one of the men on the TV show, he was trying to give his friend some advice. I don't know if you've ever seen butterflies and caterpillars, but a caterpillar basically becomes it has like a little cocoon. It has a shell, and then from that shell, a butterfly emerges. Okay, and there's like a small hole in the cocoon. So when the caterpillar forms a cocoon is like a shell. It forms a shell around itself, and then there's a small hole, and then after some time, a butterfly emerges from that shell, from that small hole. And the man was trying to teach his friend a lesson. He said, I can get my knife and I can make the hole for this butterfly bigger, right? So I can cut the shell for this butterfly, and I can make it easier for the butterfly to escape from the shell. But he says by doing that, the butterfly will not be strong enough to survive in nature. He says, subhanAllah, so imagine the butterfly, it has to struggle through this small hole for it to survive in nature. So guys, struggling is nature's way of strengthening, subhanAllah. When you struggle in nature, when you struggle in life, God is trying to strengthen you, subhanAllah. I hope you guys enjoyed the class. I really wish I saw you guys in class physically, but the weather in Kuwait is not stable today, so we had to have an online class. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and may God bless you all. Please don't go out. The weather doesn't seem to be too good today, so please take care of yourselves, guys. God bless you all. Ramadan Mubarak again. Iftaran Shahiyan, as we say, and see you in class, inshallah, soon. Any questions? Yes, Zainab, go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you guys so much. Always welcome.
Thank you for the class.
Oh, same here. Thank you guys for coming. Yes, Zainab, yes, so were you saying something? Sorry, Zainab?
Yes, Doctor, I want to talk about debates. It will be like groups or persons or what exactly?
For what, sorry?
The debates that we will make it in the class.
Yeah. I'm going to put you into groups, Zainab, but of course it'll be like 1 versus 1 basically, you understand? So you will have groups. I'm going to have a group, for example, that believe that money can make you happy. I'll have another group that will say that no, money does not make us happy. But then when you have a discussion, it's going to be like 1-on-1, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, always welcome, Zainab. Yes, Iman?
Yes. I have a question about the audio recording.
Yeah.
My concern is about not about the process of preparing it, because I'm familiar with it.
Okay.
But about the grading. Like, do you want like certain condition that we need to follow in order to take good grade in it?
The only thing you need to do, Iman, is just make sure that you have good ideas. That's all, and just make sure that you sound confident. That's all I really want. Okay.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Always welcome, guys. See you in class, inshallah, next week.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Always welcome, guys.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Always welcome, guys. Take care. Bye bye.